First of all, I would like to express my appreciation for our colleagues from USDOT, Carson, Gina, and Sadat, who are available to join this meeting. Today's meeting is a follow-up of a knowledge sharing session on greenhouse gas estimator tool by USDOT speaker August last year. Since then, Ministry of Transportation of Indonesia through Land Transportation Polytechnic and Center for Sustainable Transport Management are willing to create and modify the greenhouse gas emission tool for Indonesian needs. Today's meeting is hosted by Land Transport Polytechnic and Center for Sustainable Transport Management. We have Mr. Made from Land Transportation Polytechnic and his team, as well as Ms. Dina from Center for Sustainable Transport Development. We have also students from Land Transportation Polytechnic and also other participants. The main agenda of this meeting is that the Land Transport Polytechnic is going to share its progress regarding greenhouse gas estimator development, and we will continue with discussion. There are some questions from Ministry of Transportation already sent to Carson. Hopefully you can answer those questions in this meeting. So without further ado, I let Mr. Made from Land Transport Polytechnic to present his progress in greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesian purpose and needs. Mr. Made, please.
Thank you, Mr. Hananto. Okay, can we start now, Mr. Hananto?
Yes, we can start.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening and good morning. The Honorable Mr. Carson, Ms. Gina Filosa, and Mr. Sadat from U.S. Department of Transport. Pleased to meet you and welcome, sir. The Honorable Mr. Hananto as Ministry of Transportation Attached of Indonesia for Washington, D.C. Good evening, Ms. Dina Kartika from Center for Sustainable Transport Management, Ministry of Transportation. And we also invite fellow lecturer and student from other university. Good evening for fellow lecturer and student who attend this meeting from Indonesia Land Transport Polytechnic, Indonesia Railway Polytechnic of Madiun, and student from University of Indonesia. Thanks for being here and pleased to meet you. Before we start this meeting, on behalf of the Ministry of Transportation, I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Carson, Mr. Sadat, Ms. Gina Filosa from U.S. Department of Transport for being here to attend this meeting. Hopefully, in the end of this meeting, we can get insightful comment and suggestion about this project. To begin with, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Imade Sukmayasa. I am a lecturer in Bali Land Transport Polytechnic. On this occasion, I will present what we have been doing so far about the greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesia. Next. Okay, after the sharing of knowledge between the U.S. Department of Transport and Ministry of Transport last year, the Ministry of Transportation was willing to create and modify the greenhouse gas estimator from U.S. Department of Transport. Since that webinar, Bali Land Transport Polytechnic are working with relevant institution, that is Center for Sustainable Transport Management, Ministry of Transportation, to create a team to run this project. Where is Mr. Effendi Priraharjo as a Director of Land Transport, Bali Land Transport Polytechnic, who is in charge of this project. And we are also working with other colleagues with different background study to support this project. Next. Okay, then I will begin by outlining the whole presentation. First, we will share the background of this project. Then I will explain about the briefly calculation about greenhouse gas estimation. Furthermore, we will put a case study to explain how to use these tools. And to finish, we will have a question and answer about these projects. Next. The background of the project is because Indonesia focused on development of the economy. We try to provide basic service infrastructure, economics infrastructure, urban infrastructure, as well as transportation safety and security infrastructure. Based on these frameworks, with regard to the current issue, such as environmental problem and equity in mobility, we must start preparing standard and procedure to oversee infrastructure development activities, particularly in the transportation sector. Next. We can take a look together briefly at this Indonesian infrastructure plan, how our country make a target to support infrastructure between 2020 and 2024. We can shed light on the transportation project here. We plan to build urban mass transport system, toll route, new national route, high-speed trains, new road train in Makassar, for example, new airport, and make support for transportation safety and security by reducing traffic accident. And we would like to make sure that the average travel time for almost 2 hours per 100 kilometers. Next. In addition, the Ministry of Transport also focused on developing the BRT system. Since 2020, we have provided 7 out of 16 BRT systems in agglomeration area in Indonesia, started from Medan, Palembang, Makassar, Banyumas, Yogyakarta, Denpasar, and Solo. The outcome of this project is to reduce the number of private vehicles and push people using public transport. In this project, the government tried to use the buy the service concept in the BRT system to change the old style system. Next. Not only BRT system, Indonesia also have several key projects in transportation. For example, we have ongoing project working together with other countries by public-private partnership concept like Jakarta-Bandung Speed Train, Bandung Urban Transit System, and Bali Urban Mobility Project. Based on this situation, Indonesia is on developing process, particularly in transport infrastructure. However, we also should consider about the impact of this construction process on environmental problem. Next. Indonesia has a plan to net zero emission in 2060. Therefore, we have to consider earlier about the climate change problem. Moreover, Indonesia doesn't have a single parameter to measure the greenhouse gas which focus on transit infrastructure. Currently, the measurement of transit infrastructure using environmental impact assessment, or we call it AMDAL. So, to oversee this challenge, right now we are trying to adopt a greenhouse gas emission estimator from US Department of Transport. All of the variables and procedure are still using data from the US Department of Transport, and we call it, this is the first version for Indonesia. Okay, next. Okay, the Indonesia Transit Greenhouse Gas Emission Estimator is a spreadsheet tool. The benefit of this project is ensuring eligibility for new funding source, reporting to carbon accounting organizations such as the climate registry, setting emission target in local or regional climate action plans, as well as supporting environmental planning and supporting internal effort to reduce emission. Next. Next. Okay. The total annual of greenhouse gas emission can be calculated by analyze the planning data from the total annual construction emission plus maintenance emission and operation emission, and these all variables depend on the selected mode and kind of construction related to the project, and it reduced by annual emission displaced by the construction. This data can be obtained from the shifting driver out of private vehicle. The total emission is expressed as MTCO2 that is calculated by adding the metric ton of carbon dioxide emissions with the metric ton carbon dioxide equivalents for methane and nitrous oxide. Next. The data to support this tool is quite complex as follows. First, we need data about construction emission. We have to collect such as structural parking spot, surface parking lot spots, and how many trees removed as an impact of construction. And then in the next stage, we should collect the data facility operation. And in this stage, the annual greenhouse gas emission from a transit project include emission associated with the operation of the new maintenance or storage facilities and transit station constructed as part of the project. The third, the annual greenhouse emission from a transit project include emission associated with the operation and maintenance of rail and road-based transit vehicle. Furthermore, the last part of this is to enter displaced emission input. In this stage, the tools asks users to enter information associated with transit and personal vehicle that the user expect the new transit project to displace. After we collect all of this information from the construction information and the displaced vehicle may travel, we can calculate the annual greenhouse gas emission for selected infrastructure project. Next. In this first version of greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesia, we have been changing and modifying some aspects, such as we changing the front page of instruction, changing from the state to province according, sorry, can we back, okay, thank you. Changing from the state to province according to Indonesia data from Aceh to Papua with specific code. This data we get from the Interior Ministry of Indonesia. Next. Okay, we check the factor matrix as well for heavy rail from construction phase and operation. And we check the unit of million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent from miles to kilometers. We also use the average US data and US mix as a main source to support this tool. And we did the same for commuter rail, and next, heavy rail as well. Next, we did the same for light rail or streetcar. We did the same for BRT system from construction phase until operation. And we did the same for van pool, school bus, and sedan and auto as well. And also we did the same factor matrix for parking and storage. We still use the main data from the US Department of Transport. And here is a data collection. We are developing this first version. We are also collecting data from several research and other institutions related to this project, such as Indonesian Administrative Area Codification from Interior Ministry of Industry from Indonesia, on-grid electricity from Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resource, and we try to find another guideline, for example, here from sector forestry in Indonesia. We get the data from IPCC guideline 2006, and other institutions who are responsible for this project. We also collect some research about how to get the emission data from the operation process in the transport infrastructure. Next. This is the agreed electricity data that we get from Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resource 2019. In this case, we have been collecting the data about this grid emission. However, we are still confused about how to convert the data from ERT, BRT, MRT, and auto related to the electricity as a fuel source to this grid. Maybe if there is any example or data about the calculation, how to convert the data, it will be really great opportunity for us to develop this project. Next. This is our to-do list. We are also preparing to make a further research to introduce and disseminate these tools in national conference and publishing in national journal. Initially, there will be 3 new transit infrastructure in Indonesia in upcoming years, which are Type C terminal in West Java to support local area. It will be started in 2023. Type A terminal in Central Java to connect intercity bus from other island to Java Island. And it is started in 2020. And the last, there is an integrated bus terminal and train station in Banyuwangi region, East Java. It's set to be started in 2023. And we will try to analyze this transit infrastructure by using greenhouse gas estimator. And then we will update the data component based on Indonesian condition, because in this first version, we are currently using US mixed data. Here, we also invited lecturer and student from STTD Bekasi, PKTJ Tegal, University of Indonesia, PPI Madiun, to do collaborative research or doing research independently about the development this tool for Indonesia. That is my brief presentation. The next presentation, we will shortly try to use the tool with a case study in Indonesian terminal. The simulation and demonstration will be presented by Nanda. Nanda, time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sukma. Good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Nanda Padnya. I'm a cadet from Bali Land Transport Polytechnic. And now I will continue to present about how to use this tool. And in this case, I will use Mengwi bus stations as a case study. First, I will explain briefly about Mengwi bus stations conditions. Mengwi terminal is a passenger terminal which is geographically located on Badung Regency, Bali, Indonesia. And in this slide, show the data of the Mengwi bus stations that will be used for demonstrations. The first, we know the name of bus station or terminal, Mengwi bus stations. And then we know the surface area around 50,000 square meters. And we know the size of facility around 14,067 square meters. And then miles of track, we know around 3.10 square meter. And then surface parking around 2,089 square meter, with the bus around 83 square meter, and motorcycle around 1,774 square meter, and with the car around 231,000 square meter. And then we know the plan replace around 1,000 units estimate, and then we know the new station to be built 1 unit, and we know vehicle replace emissions around 31,435,200 kilometer estimate, with the diesel around 12,574,080 kilometer estimate, and then the hybrid around 12,574,080 kilometer estimate, and then the last fun pool with around 6,287,040 kilometer estimates. And then I will elaborate that the basic step to run this tool. Okay, the basic step, the first we select the locations or state of our project. The second, we select the analyzed period or years. The third, enter construction input, enter facility operation input, enter vehicle operation and maintenance input, enter displaced emissions input, and the last, we calculate and review the result. Now we will begin to use the tools. Please wait a minute. Okay, this is the tool of greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesia. In first slide, you can see the instruction here. And the second sheet, you can see the whole of the calculation process that will connect with the other sheet here. Okay, let me show you the process. The first, we must select the state here, and in this case, we choose Bali because our case study in Bali. After that, we enter analyzed period, and we must enter the analyzed period in years. In this case, we are looking for greenhouse gas analyzed in 10 years. So we enter 10 years here. And then we move to construction informations. We enter or modify construction inputs, and then we will move to construction sheet. In this sheets, you will see the structure parking spot to be bold, enter of surface parking lot spot to be, you must enter the trees of to be removed and select transit mode, enter the mass object and enter the new stations to be bold. First, you enter of structure parking spot to be bold. In this case, we enter 10 unit for estimate, and then enter of surface parking lot spot to be around 2089. Then, 2089. And then we enter the trees to be removed around 1000 unit estimate. And then we select transit mode. In this case, we select bus or BRT and enter the mass of track around 3.10. And then enter the add grade about 1 units. After that, we return to the calculator and we will move the calculator again. And you can see the construction information already input here. After that, we must enter the operation informations, and you will move to facility operation sheets again. And here you must select the transit mode. In this case, we will choose the bus or BRT with the select facility type stations, and enter size square of facility around 14,067 square meter. After that, we return to calculator again, and we will back to calculator greenhouse gas estimation Indonesia. And then after that, you will enter or modify vehicle operation maintenance. And you will move the transit vehicle operation and maintenance again, and select transit vehicle type here. The first, you must select the bus or BRT, and then select full source with the diesel, and then enter the annual transit VMT as estimate with the 12,574,018 kilometers estimate. And then the second, we choose bus or BRT again with the full source with hybrid diesel, and then enter the annual transit VMT estimate with the 12,574,018. And then the third, we choose the fun full with the full source gas, and enter the annual transit VMT with around 6,287,040 kilometers. After the all data already input by using data before, you must return to calculator again, and you will move to the GHG calculator again. And then the last, you must enter or modify display VMT. And then you will back to the display emissions. In the first, you must select vehicle type with the sedan or auto. And then the select full source with gas. And enter the annual vehicle VMT with 31,435,200 kilometer estimate. After the all data already input, you return to calculator again, and you will back for the transit greenhouse gas estimator Indonesia. And you can see the all data already input here, and make sure your data already input. And last, we must calculate the result. To know the result, we enter here, and then you will know the result of the data you input before. And in this slide, you will know the result of annual greenhouse gas emissions with the total 99,655 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. And then the second, we can know the total analyzed greenhouse gas emissions for 10 years with a total 996,547 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalents. And then you can know the detailed result of annual emissions and analyzed period in millions tons of carbon dioxide equivalents. Okay, that's all the process to use the transit greenhouse gas emissions estimator Indonesia. For the next, I return to Mr. Suma. Now time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nanda. That's the end of our presentation and demonstration. Now I will return to the Mr. Hananto for the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Made, for your presentation. I think I got some important points from your presentation. Among others, there was a changing from US state name to Indonesian provincial codification, and you already put US mixed data for the first version of greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesian purpose. I also found that you already did the data collecting, such as e-grid data from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, as well as other secondary data from relevant institutions. And you will also submit all Indonesian greenhouse gas estimator study in Transportation Conference and also Indonesian Transportation Journal. From Mr. Made, I just would like to add transit infrastructure data in Indonesia. Actually, right now we have Transjakarta BRT, bus rapid transit, the biggest BRT network in Indonesia with around 1 million passengers per day before COVID pandemic. And also we have MRT, mass rapid transportation system in Jakarta, and it operates since 2018. And as Mr. Made mentioned that we are trying to develop more and more bus rapid transit in other agglomerations in Indonesia in the near future. I think with all this progress, Ministry of Transportation of Indonesia through Land Transportation Polytechnic and Center for Sustainable Transport Management shows its seriousness to have Indonesian greenhouse gas estimator. Just for your information, Mr. Made is one of the best officers in Ministry of Transportation of Indonesia. Soon after, in March 2020, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Made will leave Indonesia to Netherlands and pursue his doctoral degree in transportation planning and analysis. I hope the best for your study in Netherlands, Mr. Made.
Thank you very much,
already,
Mr. Hananto.
Yeah, and I already sent some questions to Carson. We have 4 questions. Carson, maybe we can continue with your part. Is there? Did you have answer for those questions? I think time is yours, Carson.
Thank you, Hananto, and thank you for the presentations. We're really pleased to see that you all are taking our work and improving upon it, and also sort of doing a peer review so that we can continue to improve our own tool. I'll try to answer these questions the best of my ability. Gina, Sadat, Alex, if you want to interrupt and expand on my answers, please do. So Hananto, I'll start with the 4 questions on the screen, and then I was taking notes during the presentation. There were a couple other questions that I think we can try to answer from the presentation as well. For the first one, can we share the formulas, and if possible, can we get an example of this calculations? The short answer is yes, we can send that afterwards. The slightly longer answer is that as you all know, the upstream emissions are everything that's related to the extraction and the production and the transport of materials or fuel. And the downstream is everything, basically the tailpipe emissions. So when we turn the vehicle on and we start operating it, the FTA greenhouse gas estimator for the upstream construction emissions relies on a tool that the US Federal Highway Administration developed called the Infrastructure Carbon Estimator. And we think they do a really good job in their user guide for that tool to explain where the actual construction emission factors came from. So that's a project that we weren't involved with, but I think we'll share the example of our own calculations, but we'll also share that guide so that at least for the upstream emissions part, you'll have where they came up with their upstream emissions factors. For the second question about transit-oriented development and whether you could use the tool to estimate emissions from transit-oriented development, our tool doesn't do that. In fact, the facilities that the facility information that you can get from our tool was based on data that just a handful, a very small amount of US transit agencies gave us on the actual energy use for their facilities. In fact, it's probably the element of our tool that I wouldn't say least confident in, but that we want to improve, that we're targeting for improvement the most. In fact, we're currently working on making the data that the calculations are based on more robust. So we've gone back to transit agencies to try to bolster the information that they've given us. That said, the types of facilities that the transit agencies that did give us information, those types of facilities are transit stations, maintenance and operations facilities where they're storing buses or trains and doing maintenance. It's not facilities that may pop up around transit stations. The American Public Transportation Association or Transit Association did publish guidance that looks at the greenhouse gas emissions that comes from transit-oriented development or that can be related to that. And so, Hananta, we were gonna, in our written answer, provide a link to that so that you all at least had guidance from APTA on greenhouse gas emissions and transit-oriented development, but our tool doesn't look at that at this point. For number 3, if we build BRT with mixed lane infrastructure, do we enter all of that lane mileage? So the way that we respond to that is that if we set aside any differences that may exist in the design standards for the construction of a lane mile that would be 100% BRT versus a lane mile that may have some BRT and then some personal vehicles or other types of vehicles. If we set that aside, we think that the answer to this question is really one that you all would need to make as a policy decision yourself. Our estimator doesn't currently distinguish any differences for a lane mile that's 100% BRT versus a lane mile that has mixed infrastructure. So a user, a US transit agency user would have to decide, okay, we know what kind of mile we're building and just decide that whatever choice they make, there will be assumptions built into that. I think in building our estimator, we assumed that a user would put how many ever miles of BRT it is in the tool, regardless of the type of what vehicles that would be riding in that lane. But we do understand there may be design differences if a lane were built solely for BRT versus one with BRT and other vehicles. So I hope that makes sense. If not, we can talk further. For number 4, you're building various BRT. We saw that in the presentation. There is bus shelter infrastructure there, and you were asking, do you need to input only terminal data, or can you include the bus shelter data? So we recognize that there are some emissions, greenhouse gas emissions related to the construction of a bus shelter. That could be materials, that could be potentially electricity for lighting or signage at the bus shelter. That said, the FTA estimator does not currently include any way to account for those greenhouse gas emissions. We are, as I mentioned earlier, looking to improve how the estimator can consider greenhouse gas emissions regarding facilities. And this may be something that we look at in the future. I will say, for those who were on the presentation last fall, and for those who weren't, maybe this is helpful. The context for FTA's tool was the NEPA process, the U.S. National Environmental Policy Act, which is on the timeline of a transit project. It's pretty early on, so it's looking at the potential environmental impacts of a project, and so the estimator fits into that early stage analysis where we're trying to kind of get an order of magnitude estimate of impacts. And so I would just say, regarding bus shelters, to me, that's more of a greenhouse gas inventorying and accounting of everything. And so when it comes to an early stage analysis, the emissions related to a bus shelter may be kind of lost in the big picture. And so that's why we didn't necessarily focus on every single potential source of emissions for our tool. Hanato, the questions I was hearing during the presentation, I'll just go through those really quickly if that's okay. The first was a question about the conversion of the eGrid data. So the US electricity regions and the emissions factors that goes for that electricity production is something that the US Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, does, and we'll need to look into that a little more to see, how they actually came up with those emissions rates. We were, sort of just taking it for granted that information is accurate, and we're just using it. But we can see if we can find any more information on how they actually did that. We think it looks like you all are updating those numbers to be Indonesia specific. That is great. As far as we are concerned, it looks great. I will say that we did the first version of the tool, and then last year have a second version of ours based on our emissions rates. We know that that's something that's maybe changing over time and hopefully becoming cleaner. And so when we updated our tool last year, that's something that we really focused on, making sure that the emissions rates that we used 6 or 7 years ago were updated with the more current information. So seeing that you all are trying to update it with Indonesia specific, that seems like a really good thing to do. I also noticed in the second presentation that you all were using kilometers, and it looks like you did convert, but we just want to be sure that you all are aware that we were using vehicle miles per travel, but also the emissions rates were applied to mileage, not kilometers. So if you are converting, we want to be sure that you carry it through for all the equations. And then finally, this is something I heard at the very end. The output that the FTA greenhouse gas estimator gives, the unit is MT of CO2 equivalent. just so we're clear, it's not million tons. We were using MT for metric tons. So I think the last number was 99 something, and I heard 99 million. It wouldn't be million. It would be 99. And I need to see the number again, but metric tons, not million tons. Gina, Sadat, did I miss anything, or do you have anything to add there for any of these?
No, I don't have anything else to add.
Me neither. I think, Carson, you covered everything very well. And it's really good to see, I just want to add, really good to see that Indonesian government and folks there, they're doing their work and they're taking the estimator and adopting it according to their own condition. Like Carson said, one thing to remember that we have environmental laws. The basic thing that estimator was built for was National Environmental Policy Act to do the associate analysis with that. So we have Council on Environmental Quality, which implements the NEPA regulation. And time again, they update the regulations or they provide guidance related to the GHG emission. And that's what we are working for. And I see that you're updating your tool or you're building your tool, and although our tool is built on the NEPA analysis itself, I'll call it NEPA for short, just not to say National Environmental Policy Act every time. But make sure that if you are using it, you can link it to your environmental laws somewhere. If there is your air quality laws, or there's something that can associate and provide you the justification to use it, that would be helpful. Carson and Gina, feel free to chime in if you have anything else to add. And I would love to see, it really helps to improve your environmental conditions based on the environmental laws. It all ties up. For us, like Carson was saying, NEPA is all about making informed decision. Early in the process, you look into the things. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to have a BRT? Does it make sense to have a transit? Or something else, and do all the analysis right from the beginning and do the associated analysis. Is it worth investment for you guys?
Thank you, Carson, Gina, and Sadat for your explanations. I think that this is still the first version of greenhouse gas estimator for Indonesia through Ministry of Transportation, and we still have many things to do to improve and to correct all these things in the near future. Mr. Made, is that clear from our colleague USDOT, the explanation?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Carson, Ms. Gina, and Mr. Sadat for insightful comment and suggestion. First, we will try to double check again about the conversion from mile and kilometer. And thank you very much for your comment about the metric ton and million of the metric ton. And I will try to check and recheck again. Thank you very much for suggestion. And hopefully we can get information and the data if there any improvement or development of the projects. Hopefully you can get and sharing to us about that information to support our project further. Thank you very much, Mr. Hananto.
Yeah. Is there any other questions for our colleagues, USDOT, Mr. Made?
Maybe that's all for now, Mr. Hananto.
Okay. If there is no question from MOT of Indonesia, I have a question to you, Carson. Actually, how long did you prepare this greenhouse gas estimator for USDOT? I think MOT of Indonesia should know this thing, as it can give a description about the resources needed for preparing the study in the future.
Yeah, Hanato, if I heard the question correctly, can we provide information on how we plan on updating the tool in the future? Is that correct?
how long did you prepare the study for greenhouse gas
Oh.
estimator? Yeah,
Yes.
how many
so-
years?
Yeah, Gina, if I remember this wrong, let me know. We worked on, so there's it wasn't just an estimator, a spreadsheet tool. There was also what we called a programmatic assessment. It's essentially a report that transit agencies could refer to when they were in that NEPA stage to say, here is sort of the emissions associated with the BRT project relative to a light rail project, relative to the project with no transit at all. And so they could look at that report and kind of get a sense of the magnitude of those different types of projects. Toward the end of that report, we decided to develop a tool like this. I think from the starting of the report to finishing the tool was maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Gina, does that sound right to you?
Yeah, I would say it was about 2 years, but I think an important point to make is that we didn't do a lot of the original research into the data. So we relied on, like Carson said, the emission factors came from other various sources. So if we were having to develop that original data ourselves, I don't know. I don't think a 2-year time frame would have been sufficient.
And just to one last thing, once we finished the first estimator, and this is to Sadat and his colleagues' credit, we didn't just stop there. I mean, we've continued to try to look at how to improve it, including the feedback that you all are giving us. And we're, like I say, working on a third update now, and hopefully each time it gets a little better.
Thank you, Carson, for your explanation. Ms. Dina from Center for Sustainable Transport Management, MOT, do you have any question or request to our colleagues, USDOT?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hananto. Maybe I just want add one question related to the factor matrix. Maybe if the case if we want to estimate the emission from for example a commuter train, if we operate a different kind of train, for example, because now in Indonesia we operate a train maybe that the age is 10 or 20 years from the production years. Do we have to make an average from the fuel efficiency or from a different type of train that we use, or we just have to use average? Because maybe for a different technology have different fuel efficiency, of course. And the second question, how if we just have the total amount of, for example, electricity for a train, can we just put the total amount of the electricity production in year to make calculation for commuter train? Can we modify later the spreadsheet? Maybe.
Yeah. Thank you for the questions. For the first question, the FTA estimator has 2 fuel sources for the operation of commuter rail, electricity and diesel. The electricity is based again on the region, where the electricity was produced, and then default figures in a secondary tool called called GREET. For diesel commuter rail, same thing. It was the default value. We realized that, yeah, the locomotives vary in age and efficiency. And I'm sort of speaking just on my own view here. If you had that sort of data and that precision, I don't see why you wouldn't use it. If you had it, we chose not, at least at this point, to get into those details for the trade-off being ease of use for someone who may or may not do this every day. And so we wanted to be able to give a tool to a person who works at a transit agency and more or less have them be able to use the tool and not necessarily get bogged down in the weeds of, okay, this train or this bus or whatever, is from a model year from a long time ago that's less efficient. And so we set that aside for now. But I'd say if you had it and you had that information, I don't know why you couldn't or shouldn't include that. We haven't at this point, but we could. For the second question, if I understood it correctly, it's, can you change the, for electric commuter rail, could you change that over time? If that's not the question, please feel free to ask again. But yeah, I think it's sort of the same answer where, yes, that can be changed over time as, if we fast forward a few years to when vehicles are cleaner, could we revise the fuel economy for the vehicles? Yes. Same with the electricity for commuter rail or any electric powered mode for that matter.
Thank you, Carson. Is that clear, Ms. Dina?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Hananto.
Okay. I think if there is no more thing to discuss and request from MOT as a facilitator of this meeting, I would like to thanks to Carson, Gina, Sadat, and Alexandra, who have already assisted MOT, Ministry of Transportation of Indonesia, in preparing Indonesian greenhouse gas estimator, the earliest version, the first version maybe. I hope you are still available in the near future for another discussion. So I would like to thank also to my colleagues, Mr. Made, Ms. Dina, and all participants in this meeting. We can finish our discussion today. I hope that all colleagues from USDOT could be joined in the future discussion. Thank you, Carson, Gina, Alexandra, and Sadat for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Hananto. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah. You can leave this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hananto. Terima kasih banyak, Mbak Dina. Mbak Dina, suara saya kedengeran?
Kedengaran.
Oh.
Mohon maaf tadi saya belum banyak belajar tentang ininya, isinya. Tapi sebenarnya malah pengen bertanya ke Pak Sukmayasa nih tentang beberapa.
Suaranya kemut, Mbak. Suaranya kemut.
Oke, malah justru pengen bertanya beberapa hal ke Pak Sukmayasa. Boleh ya, Pak ya?
Iya, iya, sambil diskusi, Mbak.
Ya, karena tadi saya bacanya singkat gitu. Kalau tadi faktor matriks ya, itu apakah kita masih pakai yang punya USFTA atau kita sudah beberapa memang kan tadi sudah dilihat udah yang dimodifikasi dengan data-data kita ya Pak ya. Nah kalau misalnya contoh seperti faktor misalnya berapa bahan bakar yang kita gunakan per kilometer untuk misalnya BRT atau misalnya berapa KWH yang digunakan untuk apa namanya komuter rail gitu ya, itu diperolehnya apakah memang dari sumber-sumber yang ada atau memang dari perhitungan yang apa namanya dengan data-data yang memang sudah tersedia selama ini, Pak? Mungkin itu sih pertanyaannya.
Izin Mbak, kemarin kami waktu kami buka greenhouse gas estimatornya US DOT, kemudian kami juga buka guidance-nya di sana. Sebenarnya di guidance-nya itu dasar data-datanya mereka itu by riset. Ada dijadikan riset by PSD untuk khusus untuk bagian upstream materialnya saja gitu. Ada upstream transportnya di situ. Makanya kami bertanya kemarin tadi di awal itu membedakannya gimana gitu. Karena tadi contohnya di dalam satu terminal ini misalkan di situ disebut ada kendaraan-kendaraan dari masa operasi, maintenance, dan ini. Nah, itu gimana cara membedakannya dan mengukurnya gimana gitu. Makanya kami juga masih miss. Cuma data yang tersedia memang sudah langsung menyebutkan angka dalam riset-riset gitu, Mbak. Jadi kami masih menggunakan full murni dari datanya
Oke.
gitu.
Oke. Saya maksud ya mungkin karena kami juga memandangnya seperti yang Mas Ando sampaikan kan memang saat ini kan kita butuh ya sebetulnya butuh model ini, sangat butuh bahkan gitu karena kita punya tanggung jawab untuk laporan inventarisasi yang bottom up gitu yang dari sektor transport ke level nasional gitu ya. Nah, apakah kita bisa mungkin dari penelitian yang ada di nasional mungkin ya seperti apa namanya fuel efisiensi dari BRT kita misalnya gitu kan karena kan bisnya mungkin sejenis gitu ya Mas Ananto ya, bis yang dipakai misalnya bis-bis yang memang apa namanya hibah dari Kementerian Perhubungan gitu, kemudian juga untuk kereta kan keretanya kan sama ya kereta yang Grand dari Jepang itu kan misalnya gitu, apakah kita bisa kita modify dengan data kita sendiri sehingga lebih real dengan kondisi yang ada di Indonesia gitu.
Izin, mungkin target kita ke depan itu Mbak, kita ngupdate target awal, kita memperkenalkan di greenhouse gas ini dulu. Kami coba untuk taruna kita menganalisa menggunakan 3 terminal itu, sebagai cuma spread informasi dulu aja, biar oh ini ada tools ini gitu. Nah ke depan target kita ngupdate parameter-parameter tersebut gitu.
Ya.
Tapi beberapa sih sudah ada, beberapa saya lihat termasuk risetnya dari Ibu Maimunah dari PKTJ Tegal itu, dia menghitung tentang grid-nya electricity yang kereta listrik komuter Jabodetabek. Seperti itu penggunaan AC-nya seperti apa, itu semua data sekunder. Nah, tapi kita belum banyak dapat data-data yang lain seperti bus dan kendaraan-kendaraan pribadi lainnya. Mohon izin Mas Ananto bisa menambahkan mungkin.
Iya, jadi memang ini akan sangat menarik ya. Amerika Serikat itu kan sudah benar-benar terbuka dan paham banget tentang isu-isu lingkungan, di mana salah satunya mengenai isu lingkungan di sektor transportasi. Dan mereka ingin melihat bagaimana sih proyek-proyek infrastruktur ini berpengaruh positif terhadap penurunan efek gas rumah kaca dan lain sebagainya. Makanya kan dibangun tools ini. Dan ini saya temukan waktu saya mempelajari USDOT, apa saja kerjanya dan lain sebagainya, saya coba teliti satu persatu sampai menemukan ini, dan memang ini baru sebetulnya, April 2020 yang versi terbaru ya. Sebelumnya ini kan mulai di studi dari tahun 2017 atau 18 kalau nggak salah ingat saya. Yang seperti disampaikan Gina tadi ya, 2 tahun, 2 years. 2 years ini mereka menggunakan data-data sifatnya sebetulnya sekunder, mengkolaborasi data-data dari hasil penelitian ya, mengenai faktor metrik ini diambil dari penelitian A, mengenai data ini diambil dari penelitian B dan lain sebagainya. Mereka kumpulkan, jadikan satu, kemudian mereka analisis dan modifikasi, jadilah greenhouse gas estimator-nya USDOT. Dan mereka akan terus, yang tadi dibilang, akan terus mengupdate dengan data-data terbaru dan lain sebagainya. Artinya, kalau untuk versi-versi awal, menurut saya sih sebetulnya kita pertama betul, kita ikuti saja dulu yang datanya USDOT, yang datanya sifatnya secara average atau US mix. Itu dulu kita jadikan pedoman, patokan supaya kita paham sekali dengan apa yang dimaksud dengan greenhouse gas estimator dan turunannya ini, baru nanti pelan-pelan ya Pak Made dan tim Mbak Dina kita coba nih rapikan ya data-data yang memang unik atau sifatnya muncul dari Indonesia, seperti e-grid-nya dari Kementerian ESDM itu kan bisa nanti kita masukkan. Itu mungkin nanti jadinya GHG Indonesia versi 2, itu sudah menggunakan e-grid-nya Indonesia. Nah ini yang pelan-pelan harus kita lakukan, dan ini bukan pekerjaan 1 tahun 2 tahun, tapi ini pekerjaan panjang, dan ini benar yang dikatakan Dina, ini nanti akan jadi salah satu sumber rujukan, karena kita selama ini belum punya alat hitung, alat ukur terkait dengan greenhouse gas emission di sektor transportasi. Dan yang paling penting lagi, kita udah membuat jejaring nih, network ini yang paling penting ya. US DOT Amerika Serikat itu nggak gampang pendekatannya, artinya kalau Pak Made, Mbak Dina udah kenal Kersen, Gina, Alexandra, sama Sadat, ini nanti paling nggak sekarang saya nggak jadi fasilitator lagi, Pak Made sama Dina langsung aja itu komunikasi. Ini kan nggak rugi ya, maksudnya nggak keluarkan duit, kita punya teman, siapa tahu 5-10 tahun lagi kita ketemu mereka, kita butuh bimbingan, bantuan dari mereka, kita bisa lebih mudah karena kita sudah punya kedekatan. Artinya apa? Kita coba lakukan, ini kan resource-nya di Poltrada, di PKTJ, di mana lagi STTD, ini kan ada. Artinya ada yang dosen, ada mahasiswa, taruna-taruni, bisa ini dimunculkan Pak Made ya, ide-ide baru ataupun dimunculkan keinginan kekonsistenan untuk menyelesaikan atau mengembangkan GHG ini. Jangan putus gitu ya. Karena kan kita butuhkan konsistensi. Yang kedua itu tadi jejaring yang penting menurut saya. Membuka jejaring ini tidak mudah gitu. Jadi paling enggak teman baik yang sudah kita punya dari USDOT ini 4 orang ini tetap kita maintain ininya, networking-nya, supaya kita bisa saling bekerja sama di kemudian hari. Seperti itu sih. Jadi memang Pak Made tolong dirapikan lagi nanti yang ke depan data-data dari ESDM itu mulai dimasukkan lagi ke perhitungan, dan di Excel-nya itu kan ada equation ya, formulanya itu coba dicek satu persatu tuh, itu pasti ketemu. Ini munculnya dari hitungan mana, ini pasti muncul, pasti kelihatan, dan nanti langsung aja nanti saya minta Carson menyampaikan guidance yang tadi mengenai upstream downstream. Saya minta data-datanya atau panduannya, sekalian saya ini juga add emailnya Pak Made sama emailnya Mbak Dina, supaya nanti ke depan bisa langsung tektokan dengan mereka. Kira-kira gitu kalau dari saya. Ada tambahan?
Terima kasih banyak Pak Hanato, Mbak Dina. Saya mohon maaf tadi Pak, sepertinya sumber saya itu nggak valid terkait dengan metric ton dan million tons. Nanti coba saya kirim linknya Pak ya. Karena saya cari unit MPQ-O2 itu keluarnya itu million ton ekuivalen, dan perhitungannya ada, makanya tadi disampaikan matrix itu coba pastikan kembali itu Mas.
Iya, nggak apa-apa, menarik. Artinya ya biasalah dalam studi, dalam riset ada 1-2 hal yang kurang, nggak apa-apa, tetap kita positif aja, kita kembangkan. Jadi kalau dari saya gitu Pak Made, konsisten, jaga semangat ini. Terus dari Mbak Dina, tolong di collab nih apa yang sudah dikerjakan sama Poltrada dan teman-temannya, dikawal terus supaya nanti kita punya gitu. Dan yang paling penting networking gitu, networking yang perlu kita cari, karena nggak gampang kan kita punya teman di luar negeri. Ya saya berharap sih nanti ke depan kita punya semacam MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, Memorandum of Cooperation, tapi kita tunjukkan dulu hal-hal positif, hal-hal yang nyata yang memang bisa dikerjasamakan gitu. Jadi tidak langsung kita minta proposal atau konsep kerjasama, tapi kita munculkan dulu ide-ide kita atau kerjaan-kerjaan kita yang sudah kita kerjakan dengan mengadopsi apa yang mereka miliki. Seperti itu, Din,
Ya,
Pak Made.
ya mungkin menambahkan sedikit saja, Mas. Kami sebetulnya di PPTB beberapa tahun ini kan memang mengumpulkan data bahan bakar. Soalnya untuk kereta api, kemudian untuk BRT, mungkin ke depan nanti bisa jadi sumber apa ya, kalau kita ingin mungkin meneliti lebih lanjut, ingin mengembangkan atau ingin memodifikasi yang seperti tadi yang faktor matriksnya, mungkin nanti kami bisa membantu untuk menyediakan datanya, termasuk tadi yang disampaikan Mas Hananto kan memang faktor emisi listrik juga sudah disediakan Kemen SDM, begitu juga dengan faktor emisi untuk bahan bakar, per jenis bahan bakar itu sebetulnya sudah ada dan dipublikasi oleh Kementerian SDM. Mulai dari Pertalite, Pertamax, per jenis bahan bakarnya itu tersedia sebetulnya, Mas. Tinggal kita nanti gunakan dan kumpulkan bahan-bahan. Mungkin itu kami siap support karena ini juga mendukung pelaporan kita setiap tahun, begitu akan lebih baik nanti kita punya pelaporan sendiri yang bukan tier 1 yang hanya dari total penjualan bahan bakar nasional, tapi kita punya data yang bottom up, yaitu dari sektor transportasi atau dari Kementerian Perhubungan itu lebih baik. Saya dukung untuk Mayasa, nanti saya support apa yang bisa saya bantu. Iya.
Jadi Pak Made, kalau bisa nih dibuatkan timeline target-targetnya Pak Made, ya target-targetnya seperti apa, dan kalau bisa dibuatkan report resmi dan tertulis, disampaikan ke teman-teman di PPTB, Mbak Dina, kemudian disampaikan ke BPSDM. Ini kan termasuk juga sebagai capacity building ya, capacity building untuk dosen, taruna-taruni untuk bisa membuat riset mengenai greenhouse gas emission estimator di lingkungan BPSDM. Jadi menurut saya perlu kita tulis apa-apa yang sudah kita kerjakan, dibuat report secara formal, tertulis, kemudian disampaikan ke pimpinan kita masing-masing seperti itu. Nanti boleh kalau sudah dibuatkan, misalnya tertulis formal, nanti kami juga dikirim laporan tertulisnya supaya bisa kami laporkan juga di KBRI sebagai salah satu bentuk model kerjasama ke depannya seperti itu. Kira-kira seperti itu. Apa ada lagi? Pak Vero ada ini? Ada teman saya ya ini Pak Vero ini teman saya di kantor atas perhubungan. Silakan Pak Vero.
Ya, salam kenal dari saya, Vero Iskandar. Saya staf Pak Hananto di kantor atas perhubungan Washington DC. Pertama kali saya ucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada Pak Hananto, Pak Made, Mbak Nanda dan Mbak Dina yang telah menyelenggarakan kegiatan ini yang menurut saya is very meaningful ya, dan sangat bermanfaat untuk kita semua, khususnya untuk transportasi Indonesia yang berbasis masalah climate change, untuk menilai climate change di Indonesia. Sebagaimana yang sudah disampaikan Pak Nanto, perlu betul-betul diingat-ingat bahwa menjaga hubungan dengan DOT di US ini tidak mudah, dan tidak semuanya orang yang mampu untuk menjaga hubungan ini dengan sebaik-baiknya dan manfaat, khususnya untuk kita di Indonesia. Bahkan saya pernah berseloroh ya. Saya pernah bercanda dengan Pak Nanto, kalau bisa sebelum beliau genap 3 tahun, jangan pulang dulu, ya, karena terus terang ya, beliau is one of the best Atub yang saya tahu ya, yang bisa menjaga hubungan baik dan juga bisa mencari hubungan-hubungan yang baik untuk pemanfaatkan kerjasama bilateral khususnya dengan US. Kepada Pak Made dan juga Mbak Dian dan Mbak Nanda, kalau bisa memang dimanfaatkan kedekatan beliau untuk lebih meningkatkan lagi sistem transportasi di Indonesia. Pada Pak Made saya ucapkan selamat ya atas penugasan Anda untuk melanjutkan doktoral di Belanda. Semoga ilmu yang Anda peroleh nanti menambah manfaat untuk transportasi di Indonesia. Demikian dari saya, lebih kurangnya mohon maaf Pak Ananto. Mudah-mudahan kita ketemu di kantor hari ini. Terima
Ya,
kasih.
terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Pak Vero. Bagaimana kira-kira yang lain? Ada hal yang ingin disampaikan atau sudah cukup?
Siap, cukup Mas Manajer. Mungkin ke depan
Iya.
saya akan lebih komunikatif lagi dengan Mbak Dina Kartika dulu Mas untuk data-data yang sedang dikumpulkan di sana biar update. Terima kasih Mas.
Iya, betul. Betul, di collab aja ya kerjaannya dengan PPTB dan silakan nanti saling berhubungan langsung dengan Carson, Gina ataupun Sadat ya di USDOT. Silakan supaya menambah itu tadi jejaring untuk Poltrada dan juga PPTB. Silakan. Baik, kalau tidak ada lagi kita cukupkan ya, Pak Made, Mbak Dina,
Siap.
teman-teman yang lain ya.
Terima kasih.
Iya, terima kasih. Saya pamit ya. Terima kasih banyak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam
Malam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik, terima kasih banyak kepada rekan-rekan yang juga sudah hadir, rekan-rekan dosen maupun taruna-taruni, Mbak Dina. Mungkin bisa kita cukupkan di sini sampai ketemu di Zoom selanjutnya. Baik, selamat malam. Mohon maaf jika ada salah kata nggih. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih Pak Sukma.
Mas Gilang, nanti lanjutin nih Mas Gilang. Jangan kabur.
Saya telat tadi, lupa.
Aman. Ya, nanti lanjutin bantu ya.
Oke, siap.
Ini dosen
Sukses, Pak Ade.
lingkungan juga di kampus kami, Mbak. Dosennya Mbak